So in this video for my semester project, I chose to ask 4 different questions, which are: what do you think of when you hear the term feminism? Would you consider yourself a feminist? In what ways have you felt oppressed by society? And to describe an instance in which you've dealt with microaggressions, micro-insult, micro-invalidation, and or micro-assault. And I asked these 4 questions to 3 different people, who are my mom, who's a 42-year-old woman, my boyfriend, who's a 20-year-old man, and my best friend, who's a 20-year-old woman. And I chose to ask different people from different social groups these questions because the questions are focused towards oppression and microaggression, and I thought that asking different people would really help shed some insight as to the different experiences different people have and different opinions different people have in society.
What do you think of when you hear the term feminism? I think there's the two common, first thoughts about what feminism is, and there's one that's really hardcore, where you don't support men, strictly for the women, and compliments are just not accepted, like don't comment on me like I'm a woman. There's also what I believe to be feminism when I hear it is equality between men and women, having the same opportunities, but also having the same respect. But also, I think feminism is between woman to woman, supporting each other, raising each other up, not being envious, not talking down. We should be supporting each other's decisions.
I've seen a lot of controversy in terms of how women are actually acting a little bit biased towards it and aren't really searching equality, but they're more trying to put a foot on the ground and actually kind of be above, because there's multiple situations where there's double standards, where the man is actually blamed for the majority of things and women simply go by it. Or if in a similar situation where a woman would tell a guy to like fuck off or something, that would seem to be appropriate in most settings, and if a guy were to use vulgar language for a woman, she would probably be more defensive about it. So I think there's a feminism, the term itself is inequality.
When I think of the term feminism, I think of gender equality.
So, would I consider myself to be a feminist? No, because I don't really do anything about it, I support it. I support what it is for my version of it, having respect, equality, supporting women, supporting each other. But do I vocally talk about it daily or take actions to, create a change in society? No. So I believe in it, I accept it, but I wouldn't consider myself a feminist.
I don't now or ever probably will ever consider myself a feminist. However, I do believe in equality, and I don't think feminism is the way to go.
I cannot say I think of myself as a feminist 100% of the time. I agree with women, and pay compared to men should be equal. I believe that women have the same rights as men. I believe women can perform the same duties in the military as men, and far beyond that. However, when it comes to household chores, it's simple to say that women are expected to do some parts and men are expected to do others. I am the type of woman that does enjoy doing yard work. I can pick up a handheld grinder and grind the edges off of concrete. I can paint a wall. I can power wash the floors. I can do some demolition work. I can operate some heavy machinery.
In what ways have you felt oppressed by society? Something that came to my mind first was a woman being held to a certain standard, and the society's ideas of what a woman should be and what a woman is. And if you're not there, you're just lacking, and you have to get there and achieve this to be a real woman. It's just, how do you make everyone happy? And the answer is you don't.
Personally, I come from a Hispanic background, so I do understand how society might oppress a certain ethnicity or race. But luckily enough, from where I'm from, my hometown, we do have a lot of Hispanic culture. So luckily, I haven't felt any oppression, but I am aware of situations or places where it is a lot more common.
I can honestly say that as a 42-year-old woman, I've never felt oppressed by society.
Time where I faced micro insult actually happened recently in my own college classroom by my own professor. He was talking about the funding between public and private school and decided to specifically target where I went to high school. He mentioned it in comparison to this new public school, and he even had the audacity to bring up in comparison, how much tuition did you pay at your private school? Like this amount? Yeah, why would you pay that when you can go here? And I was just really baffled and shocked. And why is it your decision where I get my education? And
Similar to my response about oppression, there's not a lot of people from different cultures or cultural diversity where I'm from, so it was a lot of Hispanic background. Personally, I'm kind of light skinned, so they, as a kid when I was younger, I'd get teased. Everyone was darker than me, and they would say, "Oh, look, he's the cracker or the white guy in the group." So it wasn't really harmful. In fact, I didn't take it too offensive, but I do remember being called that a lot, especially like in middle school and early on in my high school days.
I think a very common micro insult in the Lower Valley or in South Texas is the perception of a language barrier where Americans greet Hispanic Americans with the typical and quote unquote hola amigo. It's a micro insult.
So, in conclusion, these three different people had both similarities and differences in their responses, and I believe their personal responses were each different because of their different social groups. And because of their different social groups, they have different experiences in their lives, therefore shaping their opinions differently. And I believe that because of these social groups, different people view oppression and view microaggression and feminism in different ways.